All right, so, all right, one more time, Hammer. You still not telling me what happens when I share? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. You know. All right, let me stop sharing for now. So anyway, jumped up on here because I'm gonna try to get in on this TikTok thing. And to be quite honest, there's no other reason than I have some severe business ideas I want to start out here, and I need support. I definitely need support. Okay? So I'm just putting it out there in the universe. And what I want to do in Africa is to help build on the reggae culture even further. There's just a few elements missing. You know, it's kind of light work for the years I've, I guess, been in the trenches and learning what I know. So I first just started traveling. I left radio about 2.5 years ago, almost three now, because I was like, I'm just tired. I didn't really understand it then, but I fully understand it now. It kind of felt like then I was a hamster on a wheel, you know? Just wake up, go to the radio station, do some interviews, go home, maybe do a few parties, go home. And I didn't feel community. Like, I have friends, I know people. Most of my closest friends didn't live near me though. And I'm a hard person to understand. I gotta be honest. I'm a hard person to understand. So if you don't know me, a lot of times I come off very, very weird. I'm pretty sure if in the black community we diagnosed our kids, I would have been diagnosed with something as a kid. The best way I can put it is I've always felt like I've lived in my own little world, you know? Like, I'm more of a voyeur of watching people than I'm a part of a community. And it may have, you know, a lot to do with just the way I was raised. It might have to do with that because my whole family is from Jamaica. But my mother moved to the U.S. when she was pregnant with my sister. So I was born in the U.S. And then I lived in the inner city, the projects to be more exact. If you don't know what projects mean, projects are government subsidized housing, you know, so they have a piece of land and they put a bunch of subsidized housing. So I lived in the projects, and then after a while my mom got one of those subsidized houses. So I lived, you know, what they were called ghetto, whatever. But my mom also put me in a program that ended up sending me to a school that was predominantly white. So I've never really felt a part of anything. I've always felt like just somebody who watches people. And I think a lot of people over the years took that weird. and that was hard for me because if I'm gonna be honest, I feel like I spent a good portion of my life trying to fit in, trying to let people know I'm just like you, when to be honest, I don't think I ever was, you know. When it came to school, I was not a good student. I went to a predominantly white school. I would have rather been anywhere than sitting in that environment. It, at that time, for me, was just a place where I felt like a zoo animal that's being studied. And I didn't like it, you know. But now I reflect on it, and I'm grateful for some of the opportunities I had to learn about different types of people. That part I'm definitely grateful for sure. So fast forward, like I said, my whole family's from Jamaica. So I was obsessed. I was obsessed with my family. I was obsessed with the family functions. I was obsessed with the funerals, the weddings, anything we did, the cookouts, the barbecues. I was obsessed. I was obsessed with every character, you know, that's there. And if you're Jamaican, you know the characters I'm talking about. The drunken uncle, we all have it, you know. The matriarch grandma of all grandmas. It doesn't matter which grandma, but that particular grandma is like the matriarch, the one that makes sure everything comes together. And when we lose her, a lot of us start losing those gatherings. We know who she is, you know. The rich auntie, you know. We all have the same characters, I think, in our life, you know. So for me, I gravitated very much to my heritage, you know. And so basically, I went to this white school. I got out. I didn't feel like I belonged nowhere. I wanted to get out. So joined the army. Did that for a few years. I'm thankful for the experience, but it also was, what is that swipe thing for? Something came across the screen and did this. What is that? Anyway, Yeah, I'm grateful for my military experience because really and truly, that's why I'm able to do what I'm doing now. Is because of my time there. But a lot of things happened, and it also made me a very aggressive person, a very aware person, a person that's always mindful of my environment, and also, I think a lot of anxiety came with it. So even when people will see me out in the clubs or see me DJing or stuff like that, somebody invites me to co-host. I don't know what that means. Okay, I'm not gonna do that right now. Not right now. Maybe in a few. But yeah. So anyway, what was I saying? Right. Yeah. So I would be in venues and I'm more paying attention to doors. I'm very aware of a lot of things. And I think when I got into the dancehall reggae business, I'll tell you about that another day. That's another long story. Hey, Caron. So I think when I got into the dancehall business, I was able to mask a lot of that energy within that environment because it's a very aggressive environment. And I do know how to be aggressive, I'm used to aggression. So I think I just dived into that so well, that I didn't realize that the way my mind was working was not exactly healthy. Very trigger happy, snap at a dime. I'd be going off. If you knew me, then you know. And it's still in me. It's still in me. Certain things still trigger me, but I'm working on it. So I'm not gonna act like it's over now. It's not. But anyway, fast forward now. It gets to this point where I'm in the business and I'm tired of being so aggressive because it's not doing anything good for community. It's not doing anything good for me, healthy. And I'm not just talking about me. I'm talking about the environment of the industry. It got so super hyper aggressive that the medicine of the music started being lost because everybody wants the money from the music and they're not paying attention to the medicine of the music. So it's all about numbers. How can I make more people watch me? And if making more people watch me means I have to do things that really go against my moral fiber, then I'm going to do that because it's going to make me more money. And this is what has been happening, and this is what we keep seeing. I'll add a co-host later. I don't know what this stuff is. I'm just learning. I'm trying to get used to this live stuff. Hi, how are you, Gerald? I sing? No, Mr. Dapp. I do not sing. Did I miss any other messages? I'm so sorry. So anyway, I walked away from the radio station because I felt like the type of person I am wasn't really appreciated in the business no more. And I'm not saying this to blame anybody. I know who I am. I know I'm very combative. I know that I don't hold my tongue. And a lot of times people don't realize I don't really have producers on my show. I've had a couple of times. Hey, Shannon. Oh God, if I start naming names, I'll forget it. Anyway, I'm not gonna name names. But anyway, I've had producers, but unlike a lot of radio people, I have not used producers as much because usually I wake up in the morning, whatever song comes in my head, I go, whatever news is on, whatever comes to my head, I'm going to say it so I don't have a filter with it. Half the time I don't even remember what I played or said by the time the show is done because it's just a natural flex, And I'm not saying it to be boastful, I'm saying it to be honest. It's just a natural flex. I let things flow how it be, and it's always worked out for me. But it got to a point where nothing was fun anymore. Nothing felt full anymore. Everything felt like I had to fight to do what, in my mind, was right for the music. I have to fight. You know what I mean? Because the other entities are trying to silence me more. So I gotta fight. This is what it felt like. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not gonna sit here and say anybody did. Screw all that shit. Shit happens. The world is how it is. So that's what my insides felt like. And I also felt like the environment on a whole, the world on a whole, started to feel way more angrier. So I didn't know how to position myself. I didn't want to DJ in clubs because the clubs felt aggressive. They didn't feel like they wanted music. They wanted hype. Everybody wanted to be in their phone. Everybody wanted a TikTok picture. You know what I mean? Everything was just like, look at me, I'm pretty. Look at me, I pop the bottles. It didn't feel like the joy that I once felt when I first started in this. I started in this in the 90s. So it didn't feel the same. And as a female, now I have to go extra hard and it don't feel good. So what the am I doing this for? And that's what I kept asking myself. And in 2022, I took a trip to Africa for the first time, just for myself. Big up to G Money. He brought my voice to Kenya. If it wasn't for him, I don't know if this trip would have happened. I took a trip and I skydived. I swam with turtles. I was just having fun conversations with people. A lot of people didn't know who I was, of course, because I'm way on the whole other side of the world. So unless you were huge in reggae, you know, you didn't know. And it was beautiful. Then I went back to radio. Was Tempo my first TV show? No. Oh my God, he's going to kill me because I can't remember his name. He used to manage Mr. Vegas. He had a TV station in Boston. That was the first I've done. Yeah, so anyway, went back to radio, and like in a month, it was straight depression. Don't mind my eyelashes. I got to get them done. Don't judge me, even though y'all will. So, yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, I went back and I was doing the interviews, and it didn't feel good. I'm like, this don't feel like life. So I left. Like about a month after I got back, I just told everybody I was leaving. And that's what I did. I walked away without a plan. I gave away about 3/4 of my stuff. I packed enough stuff to make sure when I travel, I have what I need. I put the rest of the stuff in storage. And I just started journeying. I went to Peru, climbed Mount Picchu, got caught up in some political madness, almost got stuck there. It was beautiful. I went to Portugal, stayed in a trailer in the middle of the woods. Shout out to D. You know, it was beautiful. You know, then I came to Kenya, went to Diani Beach, and I truly loved the atmosphere of it, playing with monkeys and the beach. But then I said, everybody says Ghana. Went to Ghana. Spent 4 months in Ghana. It's not for me. Big up to Ghana. I loved I got to climb Mount Adfaja in the Volta region. I love Volta. I think Ghana is for people who love to party, love the lounge life, love that kind of stuff. It's definitely for you, but it's not for everybody, you know. Then I went back to Kenya and stayed on Diani Beach for about 1.5 years or so total. And then I came to South Africa, and that one freaking thing I said I was missing and I was looking for, I found like as soon as I got here, and that's community. Community for me. Now mind you, I'm not saying it's here for all of you. I'm not saying that. I'm going to keep telling you guys that you have to explore all the different countries in Africa because they're all different. So you're always going to feel a different energy in a different place. You have to just research and you know, find out for yourself. But when I came to South Africa, that community, listen to me. Even the simplest things, like when you go to some parties and the women get together and they bump fists, like it's a tradition, everybody, and the women and men really, they get in the group and it's like the greeting that you have to do, all of those little things, you know. Everybody's talking to each other and it's like this family energy, and you dance to each other and you feel the rhythm of the music together, and it's not about hype and phone. Yeah, people have phones, but they don't care about that. They over here having fun. Like when I tell you that energy of community, I don't come from a place where I know a lot of sisterhood. If you listen to the beginning of what I told you, I've always been by myself, you know. And then I have a funny thing with energy. So there's a lot of good people in the world, but that doesn't mean we match energy. But here, it's like, yo, if I have an idea, I feel safe talking to my sisters over here about it. And I feel like I'm in a place where they will respect my ideas, tell me their ideas and input, and we can do things amazingly together. I can take my knowledge, they will share their knowledge, and it's not a competitive thing. It's a unifying thing. I feel like the men here respect different women on a different level too. You know what I mean? Like one of the things I realized when I went out here in South Africa, you know, if you Jamaican, you know how our men are, right? Our men, our men are very poetic with their words. Their poetry is closer to Pornhub than it would be to Mozart. So, but some of us like it to a point if we know you. So I'm not trashing y'all because there's a part of me that kind of enjoy that too. But if I know you, But the men here, when I feel like they're looking at me, I feel like they're staring at me, trying to figure out how they're gonna like take me in as their wife. Like it's the same kind of intense stare, but like in a room of Jamaican men, I would feel like them I try, get a piece or something. But when I'm in South Africa, I feel like, yeah, they want a piece, but they trying to take the whole enchilada too. Like, yo, she got birthing hips. I wonder if she cooks. You know what I mean? Like that. And I'm like, sir, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And I can't wait to see more of Africa. I felt like things were going so bad over there. I don't mean Jamaica. I mean in that part of the world. I just felt like this angry energy. Like everybody's so worried about being who they're not. And they have this pressure because, to be honest with you, even if you want to be yourself, there is this added pressure that people are not going to look at you professionally. If you want to be more simplistic, they're not going to look at you professionally. You're not going to look like you have money, so they're not going to take you proper for business. So even if you want to easy yourself out, it puts you in this position where you have to feel this pressure, where you have to be this perfect person. And I feel for so many people that feel that way. I am grateful and thankful for my life, because when I tell you I could have gone another route. When I was in entertainment, the amount of people, like I've told people before, I've been told many times, yo, you have to do up your breast, Z. Yo, Z, you have to put on body, you have to do this, you have to get dolly body, And I'm like, if my talent is not good enough, if over the years what I've done and the energy I've put in is not good enough, I'm not going to morph my body to try to make you like me, because that's not you liking me. That's you liking what I look like. And I don't find that fair, because I've worked too hard and I have done too damn much. I don't need to hype about what I've done. That's why people don't really see when I post. I'm not posting all this, that. I don't need to hype about what I've done. And one of the biggest points I tell people is some of the artists that I have revered as a kid tell me how proud they are of me. And I take that to my heart. So I'm not going to change my formula and start acting like a dolly body. I'm not going to start acting like a prima donna. I'm not going to start acting like, ooh, a Gucci bag makes me. I'm not going to start acting like any of that. God bless people who do that. That's you. But I'm not going to do that for people to believe that I'm equal to those like you. Are you nuts? It's just weird. So anyway, I'm a weirdo. I live in my weird world. I tell people all the while I'm a good person, but I'm not a nice person. That's the best way to explain me. I'm a good person, but I'm not a nice person. You press my triggers, you're not gonna like me. So when a lot of people in the industry, I've heard them say, no wonder people say them not like work with you. It's always somebody who has an attitude or demeanor that I do not find that is good, beneficial for me, or even the reggae culture. So I don't really care if you don't like me. There's too many people that don't care about the culture and they're only worried about their pockets. I don't care about you guys. I care about myself. I care about building a legacy for my son. And third importantly, I care about the culture that saved me. My medicine music, reggae, Jamaica. I care about that. Those are my trilogy. Me, my son, the music. I didn't hit my goal. I don't know how to get y'all to do these things with the goals, but I'm probably still going to go on some live mixes. So look out for that. Thank you for viewing this. This actually felt kind of therapeutic. Yeah, I might tell you guys some more of my stories. That's if you want to join me. But until then, thank you for the support. Like my videos, share my videos, help me build my TikTok journey. Thank you, Gerald. Help me build the journey, because I want to build businesses in Africa. I want to build jobs. I want to build opportunities, because a lot of times the only thing a lot of our brothers and sisters are missing in different places is that little insight into how the tourism, the people who come over think. So when you have colonizer money, you come here and you buy a tourism business, you probably already know how it works. If you've never left the country, you might just need that little insight so your homegrown business can do a lot better. It just be the little things. And I just want to be here and do my part and build my legacy on this land. Absolutely. So anyway, even though I ain't hit my goal, I hope y'all support me in the future. All right? I'll see y'all later.